You're listening to Common Man's Common Sense YouTube channel. Everybody already knows what happened with Alec Baldwin.
What happened?
Alec Baldwin got a case of Wyatt Earp. Who did Bill Paxton play in Tombstone?
Oh, God, his character.
He was that guy. Except...
God, I'm drawing a blank. I love Tombstone.
Except he was really more Bill Paxton in True Lies. When he wanted to stand up and beg for buttermilk. So, yeah, this is the headline on Yahoo. Sheriff investigating Alec Baldwin shooting says shooting incident says armorer's statement was not accurate. Santa Fe County Sheriff Adán Mendoza said that he does not believe a statement from the armorer on the Rust movie investigation was accurate regarding the presence of live rounds on the set. Alec Baldwin was practicing cross-drawing a long-barreled .45 Colt revolver on a church set. That was his first mistake. That guy shouldn't be drawing anything but a picture of a ham sandwich or a hot dog. Don't ask me why. On a church set made for the indie Western film when the gun went off, authorities confirmed that a live round struck cinematographer, how do you spell this? Halyna Hutchins in the stomach, was eventually recovered inside director Joel Souza's right shoulder. Very few people handled that gun prior to the incident, but one was armorer Hannah Gutierrez. How do you say that name?
Where is it?
Gutierrez, right?
I can't
Gutierrez.
see it.
Gutierrez.
Hannah?
Uterus.
Gutierrez Reed.
Yeah. So
Gutierrez Reed.
Noted that there should have been no live ammunition on the set at all. Speaking on the Today Show Thursday, Sheriff Mendoza was asked if that statement is accurate given the evidence that has been collected in the case thus far. Quote, "No, obviously it isn't," he said. "That was a live round that struck and killed," wow, that's interesting, "Mr. Hutchins, and so that Mrs. Hutchins, did I say Mr.? Mrs. Hutchins. So that is not an accurate statement as far as I'm concerned," Mendoza said during a press conference Wednesday that in addition to the bullet taken from Souza's shoulders, investigators found 500 rounds of ammunition, including a mix of blanks, dummy rounds, and what appeared to be live rounds. The armorer said in an affidavit that she checked the weapon that Baldwin eventually fired prior to the crew breaking for lunch to ensure it was only filled with dummy rounds. When the crew broke for lunch, she personally locked the gun and others in a safe in a nearby prop truck. However, at the same time, she claims ammo was left out on a cart on the set and not secure. Ammo was also inside the prop truck at the time. After lunch, crew member Sarah Zachary pulled the firearms out of the safe inside the truck and handed them to her. She advised there are only a few people that have access in the combination of the safe. During the course of filming, Hannah says she handed the gun to Baldwin a few times and also handed it to Halls. Everywhere in the interview with Today, Mendoza noted that the current focus of the investigation is on the people who handled the gun prior to Hutchins' death. In addition, he says detectives are taking a very close look at how live ammunition made its way to set at all, as well as who was responsible for bringing it. And if you haven't seen pictures of the armorer, apparently her dad did that for years in Hollywood. And so she's a 24-year-old, purple-headed, tattooed, Instagram type that seems more concerned with taking selfies than anything else, and had already had apprehension about taking this job. And from what I could ascertain, this was only the second time she's worked in this capacity. It just seems to me that if I was Alec Baldwin, I'm not going to trust the word of a 24-year-old pink and purple-haired, tattooed, young, idiotic-looking bimbo. Like, it just doesn't.
Unfortunately, he did.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, that guy's been such an anti-gun advocate, and you're so anti-gun, and you're so, like, you think they're so dangerous, and you want them out of the hands of everyone for any purpose at all. Like, you want them gone. And you have no idea how to operate one.
Yeah.
If you had just a little bit, just an inkling of some basic information about some gun safety, maybe you would realize that those guns, they're not as dangerous as what you think if you know how to handle one.
Sure.
But you don't.
Right.
When's the last time you aimed a gun at anybody?
Never.
Exactly.
And
I mean, that's pretty much first rule of fool them with guns.
I
Never
think
pointed at anything you don't intend to shoot.
the phenomenon
Keep
of
your finger off the trigger.
and never aim at something you don't intend to kill. But I think the phenomenon that I'm about to describe, like you can see it really prominent in people like Robert De Niro, and Alec Baldwin is not, or rather is susceptible to it as well, is that you play make believe for a living. Like, you're not like actually in real life a Wild West gunslinger. Therefore, you should probably be extra careful. I think that they get an overestimated sense of what their capabilities and self-worth overall actually are.
Yeah, you've seen yourself in a movie kill somebody, and now you think you're
exactly
an actual operator.
Yeah, you think that you have actually business handling a firearm. And so one of the local radio stations that there's a female that I'm not really fond of that I guess the day that this the day after this transpired, people were calling in to just kick this guy while he was down. And well, cooler heads need to prevail. That's, really provocative. We shouldn't be treating this guy like this. He didn't do this on purpose. Right. But that guy never made the case that he deserved any type of decorum and leeway. That guy spent how many years trashing Donald Trump and his supporters? You know what I mean? Yeah. In addition to being anti-gun. So pardon me if we pile on with this dirtbag that's created such animus in public discourse over the last 5 years alone, gets raked over the coals for being an idiot and making a huge mistake. And like, is it unfortunate? Oh, absolutely. Is Alec Baldwin an idiot who's responsible? Yes. In my opinion, absolutely. You're a moron, dude. One NRA gun course would have prevented this. And I would say the same for the armorer. I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that you have limited experience with firearms. Like, what? There's been no evidence of credentials. What are your credentials to even handle firearms? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how many classes have you been to? How do you know the full-fledged operation of multiple firearms across the spectrum of every movie you would operate in? You don't. Hence the reason stupid stuff like this happens, because you're more obsessed with taking photographs of yourself. One of the pictures that she had is the cross upside down in a demon's hand. Never a saint. Always a demon, never a saint. Here we are with demons again this evening.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, serves you right, man. I'm not
Starting
saying that
to see a trend.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that about the woman that's dead. Like, that's unfortunate for sure. And I've got sympathy for her loved ones, I suppose. But the idiots responsible for this should be prosecuted for their ineptitude and their malfeasance. So you people are morons.
Well, just like any other Hollywood personality, and they're just completely narcissistic, and they can't help open. Like, you can't keep your mouth shut. You have to have an opinion on everything, and then you have to have a platform to do it. So thank the Lord for Twitter, because back in 2017, this idiot made a tweet that aged like milk. This dude put on Twitter, "I wonder how it must feel to wrongfully kill someone."
Oh, that's going to leave a mark.
Oh, I do wonder, Alec.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Which I don't know what the incident it was that he was referring to, but I'm sure
it was a police shooting, and I can't remember if it was how it went, if it wound up being justified or not. But yeah, he was making reference to a police shooting.
Well, now you know, buddy.
Oh yeah, dude, and that woman was in the process of committing zero crimes. She was doing her job, and you shot her. Cross drawing. Yeah. The only thing
cross-dressing.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that you need to draw is the string on your daggum your friggin' prison trousers, dude. The drawstring on your prison sweats.
You think that guy will ever see the inside of a prison?
No.
No,
I don't, but that doesn't mean that he shouldn't. We said on the regular podcast that we would describe why we're always using the term Amazon buyer on the podcast. And so we don't like criticism, so don't do it.
We only take good criticism.
Yeah, like, dude, screw negative criticism. So I can't remember what platform it was on, but there was one of the podcast platforms where we got it was weird because I think they left us like a 3-star review. Like, they didn't give us a 1-star, they gave us a 3-star and said that we were in the screen name was Amazon buyer, and the review said that we were nothing but a right-wing echo chamber, and Rex took high offense to that.
What?
I was fine. Like, dude, it didn't bother me at all. I'm not mad about it still. I don't never think about it, except for every episode.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah, and so the reality is that Amazon buyer probably actually never listened. He just saw what the description was and downvoted us.
Yeah,
like a turd burglar.
And the fact of the matter is, I don't really care what Amazon buyer thinks.
Oh, Amazon buyer's never going to call in.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not
Don't care what
true.
that guy thinks.
Y'all care.
We've thrown down the gauntlet for Amazon buyer. By all means, call in. Please call in.
Oh no, Amazon buyer's not even listening.
Send an email. Something. I want to be in correspondence with Amazon buyer.
Amazon buyer, hit us up. info@commonmanscommonsense.com.
Get some.